Hi, I'm JBK, and I've had breast cancer twice. The first time I was 37 years old. It was widespread DCIS in my right breast, and it was caught very, very early. So the only treatment I needed when all was said and done was a mastectomy. The second time was more recently. I was 46, and this time I had a teeny tiny raisin-sized tumor, about yay big, in the same breast I had had the mastectomy on. After surgery to get it out, I did radiation, and since then I've been taking tamoxifen. The following is a list of things that really helped me when I was first diagnosed with breast cancer, and even during my second bout. I don't mean any of this as medical or expert advice. This isn't a video about details of my whole breast cancer story from start to finish. I was just thinking about what I could share with you guys that would be uniquely useful. These things really set me up for success to beat breast cancer twice. Now I'm saving 2 tips for last, and they're my favorites and perhaps the most unconventional of all the things that help me. So definitely stay through to the end so you don't miss them. And of course, before we get started, remember to do all that fun stuff that us YouTubers really appreciate. Subscribe so you can get notifications and not miss any of this channel's future content. Like this video if it helps you, and please share it with anyone you know who might find it useful. The first thing that really helped me after being diagnosed with breast cancer was alerting everyone I was close with about my diagnosis. So this included my immediate family, my mom and my sister, but I also let my close friends know as soon as possible. And I immediately let my boss and my work colleagues know. This allowed people on all fronts to help me in significant ways. For instance, I found out my friend Gail had also had breast cancer. Didn't know that at the time, but she turned me on to a pathologist who specialized in DCIS, who I used for a second opinion. And my close friend Maddie did some reconnaissance for me and got me the name of a really good breast surgeon. Speaking of which, there was a lot of research and phone calls I had to make at work. So it was really great to have my boss Betsy with the first occurrence and Serena and Maggie for my second just be like, do what you need to do, make the calls you gotta make, go to the appointments you need to go to. We got your back on this. Now, did this mean I sometimes started crying in front of my boss or my sister or my friends? Yeah, you know what? It did. But by embracing my vulnerability in a more public way, it allowed other people the opportunity to show up for me. Here's another thing that really helped me. I got more than one name for each specialist. 2 breast surgeons, 2 plastic surgeons, and later, with my second occurrence, 2 oncologists, and yes, 2 radiologists. And then from there, I chose the one that I felt set me up for success the best. Now I'm thinking about making a video about what kinds of factors makes a doctor the right doctor for you. So leave me a comment if that interests you. For me, it was a combination of bedside manner and expertise. Something else that helped me tremendously was finding SHARE. SHARE is an amazing organization for women who've been diagnosed with breast and ovarian cancer. So if you have a specific question about your diagnosis or treatment, they will match you to a breast cancer peer who can speak to that specific experience. Also, because I told so many people what was going on and I empowered them to let their network know, my sister's friend's sister talked to me. When I spoke to different survivors, I could literally ask, so what was it like waking up after doing a mastectomy with immediate reconstruction and having a new fake breast? How many doctors can really answer that? Or, so my doctor's saying I'll only be in the hospital for 2 nights. Is that what happened to you? All right, the next thing I want to talk to you about, I really think every medical receptionist should be trained to teach you this. You've got to go to your appointments with someone else. Before your appointment, you're going to be waiting in that thing they call, oh yeah, the waiting room. That wait is going to go a lot faster if you have company.
Looks like I'm next.
And during the appointment, you're going to need this person to write notes so you can concentrate on getting through your questions, listening to the doctor, and coming up with more questions as you go. And of course, after the appointment, these notes are key because they're going to help you remember all the things that you talked about with the doctor. Also, after you're done, it's just nice to bounce impressions off of someone, you know? Like, was it just me, or did that guy have a stick up his butt? I don't know. Did you find it a little odd that she picked up a cell phone call during the appointment that I waited 2 months to have? Was that the best office coffee you've ever had, or what? If you can't bring someone with you, at the very least, make sure you record the visit. It can be right on your phone. You don't even need to see anybody's face. You just need to be able to hear the sound of their voice. When I found out I had breast cancer, my boyfriend at the time had come with me to the appointment. See, like, I walk the walk, right? Later that day, he came home from work and he had brought with him 3 red folders. They were labeled research, diagnosis, and treatment. So we would put stuff in each folder as we gathered information, whether it was stuff that we researched and printed off of the interweb, or our notes from the doctor's offices, or even brochures and business cards. Now, you may prefer a more electronic way of organizing your stuff, like a Google Doc, and in that case, I would just say do a different doc for each thing. Now, what I liked about this system was that it really helped me get my mind around how to think about the whole thing from start to finish. Remember, this is all about setting yourself up for success. Okay, so those are the main things that really helped me back when I was diagnosed that I wish a doctor had told me about. And I'm going to tell you about my bonus tips in just a sec. First, I wanted to mention that these are the things that helped me. You may need something a little different. Just know that there is no right or wrong, there's just what works for you. Like Princess Leia says in Star Wars.
He's got to follow his own path. No one can choose it for him.
Bonus tip number 1. One of the first things I did after my initial diagnosis was given the finger to cancer. So rather than saying cancer, 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 breast cancer, breast cancer, breast cancer, I just called it BC. And so did everyone who was close to me. I didn't want to be on the deadliest warrior fighting cancer. JBK versus cancer, or JBK versus BC. That's a bet I can win. Okay, here's my other bonus tip. Now, this one came into play the second time I got BC. So I got me a special pair of sneakers that made me feel wicked cool and wicked strong, and I wore them to every single appointment before, during, and after. How cool are these? Yes, they're gold. They also say JBK rocks. And I would have had them say JBK kicks BC's butt, but you know what? There was a character limit. We are the champions, my friend. Let me know in the comments which one of these tips you found the most useful, and please share one of your own tips. And don't forget the 3 S's: subscribe, share, and see. That means like in Albanian. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.